The old grandfather clock in the hallway stopped ticking. At exactly 3 p.m. Clara looked at it. It was strange. That clock had ticked for 40 years. It was the only noise in the house since Arthur died. Arthur passed away 2 weeks ago. He died in his sleep. No final words. No, "I love you." No goodbye. Just silence. Clara felt angry at the silence. She felt that Arthur had left her alone, just like he did when he was alive. For the last 10 years he had been distant. He was cold. He spent hours in the garage locking the door. Clara thought he didn't care about her anymore. She thought he had a secret. But when the clock stopped, Clara decided to open the case to fix it. She reached inside the dark wooden box. Her fingers touched something cold. It wasn't a gear. It wasn't a spring. It was a small metal box, taped to the back of the clock. Clara pulled the box out. It was heavy. She had lived in this house for 40 years. She dusted this clock every Sunday. But she had never seen this box. Her heart started beating fast. She thought about Arthur's secrets. "Why did he hide this?" she whispered. Was it money? Was it letters from another woman? Clara was afraid to open it. She was afraid that her worst fears were true. She was afraid that Arthur really didn't love her. She sat down on the floor. She held the box in her lap. It had a small latch, but it wasn't locked. She took a deep breath. She had to know. She lifted the lid. Inside the box there was no money. There were no letters from another woman. There was only a stack of cassette tapes. Old, dusty audio tapes. And on top of them a piece of paper. The paper was yellow with age. It had Clara's name on it in Arthur's messy handwriting. It read, "To Clara. Play these when the clock stops." Clara's hands trembled. Arthur knew the clock would stop? No. Arthur knew he would stop. He knew his time was running out. Clara stood up slowly. Her knees hurt. She walked to the old cassette player in the kitchen. She hadn't used it in years. She put the first tape inside. She pressed play. For a moment there was only static. Then, she heard a voice. It was Arthur. "Hello, Clara. If you are listening to this, I am gone. And you are probably angry with me. You probably think I didn't love you. I couldn't tell you the truth while I was alive. I was too weak. I was too scared. But I need you to know why I pulled away. 10 years ago, I went to the doctor. He told me something bad. He told me I was losing my memory. Early stages of dementia. I didn't want you to be a nurse, Clara. I wanted you to be my wife. I was scared that one day I would look at you and not know who you were. The thought of forgetting your face, it killed me. I spent hours in the garage. I wasn't hiding. I was recording everything. I was writing down every memory I had of us. Before they disappeared. I want to tell you about the day we met. You were wearing a blue dress. You spilled coffee on your shoes. You looked so embarrassed. But I thought you were the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. I recorded this, so that if I ever forgot you could play it for me. But I never had the courage to ask you. I didn't want you to worry. So I stayed quiet. I tried to handle it alone. That was my mistake, Clara. I shut you out because I was trying to protect you. Clara felt her anger melting away. The silence in the house wasn't empty anymore. It was filled with his love. Arthur said, "I know I hurt you. I saw the lonely look in your eyes at dinner. I wanted to reach out and hold your hand. But my hands were shaking. I didn't want you to see me weak. I'm sorry, Clara. I was a fool. I thought being strong meant being silent. But now I know. Being strong means letting you in." Clara whispered, "I forgive you, Arthur. There is one more thing. Look under the bottom foam in the box." Clara paused the tape. She reached into the metal box again. She pulled up the foam padding. Underneath there was a small envelope. It said, "For our golden anniversary." That was next week. Arthur would not be there for it. Clara opened it. Inside were 2 plane tickets to Paris. And a note. "I might not be there. But I want you to go. Sit at the cafe where we went on our honeymoon. Order 2 coffees. And know that I am sitting right there with you. My time is running out on this tape, Clara. And my time is running out in life. I don't know when the clock will stop, but I want my last words to be for you. You were my memory. You were my anchor. I loved you every second of every day, even in the silence, especially in the silence. Goodbye, my love. Don't be lonely. I'm always in the ticking of the clock. The tape clicked. It ended. The kitchen was quiet again. Clara sat there for a long time. The sun began to set. She looked at the old grandfather clock. It was still stopped at 3 p.m. Clara stood up. She wiped her face. She walked to the clock. She wound the gears. Tick-tock, tick-tock. The sound returned. But it didn't sound lonely anymore. It sounded like a heartbeat. Arthur didn't say goodbye before he died. But he left her something better. He left her the truth. Clara wasn't a widow who was unloved. She was a wife who was loved too much to be burdened. She picked up the phone. She called her daughter. "Hello," she said. "I want to tell you a story about your father. It is never too late to hear the words you need."